I'm girl Melanie, and you were tuned in to Hot 104.1, St. Louis' source for hip hop and R&B. And hey, we got a new artist here for the STL playlist.
Hey,
So
what's
tonight,
up?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, girl.
So tonight I have Alysha.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
You
I
got
just
it.
had to practice that, y'all. So, are you from St. Louis?
I am, yeah. I'm born and raised in St. Louis. I grew up in Northwoods.
Oh, okay, you close.
Yeah. Real close, yeah.
So, can you just tell the listeners exactly who Alysha is?
Yes, Alysha. Well, I go by Alysha now. That's my stage name. I'm a singer, songwriter. I dance. I do a little bit of a lot. So, yeah.
So, when did you realize you could sing, like you really wanted to pursue this career?
I realized that I wanted to pursue this career when I was like a little girl, of course. I started listening to Destiny's Child. And when I got into middle school, I stepped on the stage when I was in 6th grade. I started learning piano around that time, started performing live at school. And then at that point, I just really knew, like, okay, this is my first love. Like, I started writing. It became an outlet for me at that time when I was really going through some things, family, stress, school, just kind of learning myself. And music has just always been there for me. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So, I got to ask, what high school did you graduate from?
Very small high school, Lift for Life Academy.
Lift for Life?
Lift for Life
Lift
Academy.
for Life?
Yeah.
That's in North
Not a big one. It's a charter school on the south side. So
It's like, you probably got
It's-
kids listening from Lift.
yeah. What's up, y'all? I teach there as well. So
Oh, wow.
I went back and kind of gave back to the school and stuff. So
Also, they going to really be in.
yeah, they're gonna be like, right. That's why I was like, oh. My students, they gonna be like, oh, they're gonna miss L.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. So, you actually going back and you still pursuing your career.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, what are some things that have gone on in the last year or so where you realize, like, I could really take off?
I would say in the past year, I got my degree. I got my bachelor's, and around that time, I wasn't able to really do my music as much as I wanted to. But I got back in the booth right after I got my degree, and I did the record Drinking with Ashley Booker, the producer that I worked with, and everybody really fell in love with that record. At that point, I knew, I was like, okay, you need to stay consistent. You can really do this. And, I always knew that it was something that I was comfortable with. This was the only thing I loved. But, just getting the reactions from people about the record, that right there was, it just validated everything that I feel. So, yeah.
And so we was talking off air. You've had the opportunity to open up for some huge R&B singers.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know how you felt, how it came about.
I opened up for McKnight in Decatur, Illinois. This was about 3 months ago. I only had actually 2 weeks to prepare for it.
Oh wow!
Right. My mom actually was the reason why I got the gig. She was at a bar, and the band members were performing, and so she shook their hands, and then she was like, yeah, my daughter sings. And so she pulled out her phone, played the records that I had for one of the band members, and he was like, wow, okay, I like it. So he emailed her and then asked her, he was like, would your daughter like to open up for Brian McKnight? So that's how it happened. It was really just a blessing. It just kind of fell into my lap at the time, and I went for it. I had literally 2 weeks to prepare.
That's crazy. So did he give you any pointers?
Actually, I didn't get to meet him.
Okay.
I would have loved to. He walked past a couple times, and I was like, oh, that's him,
right.
But I had to kind of stay in my dressing room. And I still appreciated it, the whole thing. I wasn't like, oh, I didn't get to meet him. I didn't let it bum me out. It was yeah, this is still dope.
Yeah, I seen Brian McKnight once. He walked past me, too. I was like,
yeah,
everybody's at the station, you definitely don't talk. You be quiet.
Right.
That's me. I got to be quiet. R&B singers are around. So who is your favorite influence when it comes to singing?
My favorite influence? I have a lot of those.
Oh.
Some of the greats, of course. I really love Alicia Keys. I love Beyonce. Whitney Houston, I was just singing her records, trying to scream them out in the car a little bit. Try to see if I could hit those notes. So
we all still trying.
Those are the three that I really love to listen to when I want to, go back to my roots. So
okay. And are there any R&B singers at the moment that you wouldn't mind collaborating with in the future?
for sure. Summer Walker, for sure.
Okay.
Like, she's super dope right now.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of respect for just her hustle because she's, like, pushing out records, like, constantly. And then someone that I adore and love, a lot of people compare me to her, Janae Aiko.
I was going
So
to
I
say,
feel
I
like
say you look like Mila J, which was our older sister.
I love her.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, her too. And she's actually really slept on. Like, I listen to all her stuff. Yeah.
Me too. From Chalimbo, what was it, Chalimbo?
Yeah.
I was there for all of it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I love their whole family.
Me too. Because Mila, she was dropping like January, February, March projects. It was dope.
Nobody else thought of that.
It was clean.
Just slept on. I just really wish she could get that.
Yeah.
She had songs with Trey Songz.
Yeah.
Took off, like,
I'm trying to get like her.
hey, that would be a dope collab though. Like,
Yeah.
So you working on that? You trying to go out to LA?
I'm trying to go out everywhere. I want to travel the world at this point. Like, I think at the top of the year, that's going to be our goal, is just like traveling, doing shows in different states. Just really kind of like networking and just letting people hear what we got going on. You know what I'm saying? Giving good shows.
And what city do you look forward to going to?
Right now, I really want to go to New York, big city to tackle, because there's so many artists down there. But New York, definitely Atlanta, and LA for sure. But I think a lot of people sleep on smaller towns. Like, if you go to smaller towns, that's really where you hit home and you make a lot of good connections. Because when I went to Decatur, Illinois, it's like, it was literally a small town, but, you know, so many people were able to come up and be like, hey, you know, how are you? Like, it just wasn't too many people. You got to connect a lot more with a smaller town, too. So,
and your music is kind of made for that.
I think so. It's very intimate settings, like, work well with what we got going on.
Yeah, so you got that new single, Drink, and that's what made me think of it when, like, the song, it just do something to you. Like, when I heard the mix, I was like, what? Wait. I know I seen the face somewhere, so I just went back. I was actually in here, like, you got a system where I could listen to the mix while he played over there.
Yeah.
And I just was playing it and playing. I was like, who is this? So I ended up Shazamming it, and that's how I found.
Oh, for real? Dope.
Which most artists don't register their music, so
right.
I was glad I could find you through this. So that's crazy. So let's just talk about how you and Ashley Booker hooked up to create that song.
How did I meet Ashley? I remember I was working with Timothy McGimpsey. He goes by Who is Timothy? And I was working in the Medici building, over on Olive, right? Yeah, over on Olive, and Ashley was in his booth, in his area, and I went, you know, just networking, saying, hey, hello, how are you? And we discussed working. Took a couple weeks, but we got it done. Like, we got in, did a session. We probably recorded in like 2 hours, because it was just a vibe. Like, at the time, I got the record and the idea from, like, of course, drinking tequila, but just the feeling that it gave me, you know, just from experiences, like, you know, just happens, you know what I'm saying? So I thought it was a really good play on words.
Okay.
Yeah.
It definitely was. And I also see you do covers on your Instagram.
Right.
So you have a videographer that does that for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
He goes by C4 Films.
I think I started following him after looking over your page. So how did you all hook up and just decide to start doing that too?
Like a couple of months ago, like, he actually hit me up on social media and was like, hey, could you model for me? And I was like, well, I'm not modeling as much anymore, but you can help me with these visuals. And we've been a really good team. Just like really just putting out visuals nonstop, because it's very difficult to just do everything like by yourself. It really takes a team to build. So, you know, I have him to do my photos and the videos, and also helping with like the marketing aspects as well.
Okay. So you have a team already. So what are you and your team looking forward to doing in the next decade?
In the next decade, like 10 years.
Let me give you the whole 10 years.
10 years. Okay. 10 years. And within this 10 years, I know we gonna have a Grammy.
You gotta speak.
Like, y'all, I'm trying to be humble. But we're gonna have a Grammy. Okay. I really want to be able to like get into acting too. So I think that would be something to do in the next 10 years. Playing some movies, you know. And maybe possibly start our own label.
Okay.
That would be really cool. I just thought of that as I was talking.
I was just gonna ask, are you trying to stay in or are you trying to sign?
You know what? Let's just we gonna just let that happen as it happens, because you never know. You never know. I definitely know that I wanna take this to the next level for sure. It's something that I see myself doing for the rest of my life. So
okay. And so I normally ask a lot of artists this question: is there was an article that came out that said that cities don't really help the artists come out. Like, we don't help support them, we don't promote them, we don't do a whole lot of things. And so, just as an artist, do you think that's a true statement? And then, how can we fix that?
I don't believe as a city as a whole. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's particular people within the city they may not support other artists. But I don't agree. I feel like as an artist, like, you have to go after it and prove to people that you need their support and that you need their help. Because if they don't see you grinding for it, nobody's gonna give you a handout. Period. So, like, I really feel like that's something that I had to learn. Like, you have to put in that work, do your, go to the studio, save your money up on your own, come out to Thursdays at High 104.1. Like, I don't agree with that wholeheartedly, but I can kind of get that vibe sometimes where I feel like our city should come together a little bit more. But I think it's changing. It's getting better.
Okay. So now I got the hard questions out the way.
Okay.
Let's jump into it, okay? So you say you love Summer Walker. Summer Walker has been getting heat for the last few months of just being, everybody isn't the same.
Right.
Some artists, I can make music and then just walk out and never say a word to anybody. But You love me. I feel like the slack she getting is, like, horrible. Like,
it is.
For you to be a fan of Summer Walker and then you being an artist as well, like, what's your insight on that? Like,
I feel like I can understand where she's coming from. As far as, because I think I heard she didn't want to shake hands or hug her fans for, like, energy purposes. I'm big on that. Like, I do agree with how energy transfers. Like, I feel your energy right now just talking to you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, imagine being around, like, 2,000 to 40,000 people. I don't know how many people come to our shows, but, that's a lot to consume. And so I feel like it's a personal choice. And as human beings, we should just respect that. But I'm going to hug my fans. So I don't know about that's her, but I'm going to hug my fans. I'm going to hug y'all. I like hugs. So.
Okay. But she like hugs. She's not going to do like Summer Walker stuff. You want Summer Walker story, you're going to get a hug from somebody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so what else I have? Girl, I was watching Shade Room today, and Omarion decided to announce he's doing a Millennial Tour on Fiz's birthday.
I saw the flyer on my Instagram.
How crazy is that?
That's
How crazy
wild.
is that?
You
I
know
just wanted to ask somebody else's opinion. Like, am I?
That's
being-
very. It's yeah.
Okay. I just thought I was the only one. Okay. You saw that?
Do you watch Love and Hip Hop?
Yeah. I mean, it's my outlet because I just sit there and be quiet and just laugh.
I watch it. I started watching it on my DirecTV now because I don't like watch TV for real. So like I always go back. You know what I'm saying? Especially like with stars. Like, if you miss Power, you can go back and watch it.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I do with Love and Hip Hop.
Man, that is my time to unwind. I work a full-time job and I work here. So when I go home, I just need to laugh.
And chill.
Right. And it's like
Get a glass of
comedy.
wine, honey. And
I don't
just
drink
lay
like
there.
that.
You don't?
I know.
I need to stop. Because I've been drinking 2019.
Have you?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, you probably younger than me. I had my favorite. It was hard liquor and wines every night.
I'm at that age right now. Like, I have been enjoying myself because I just graduated. So, like, I finished all this schoolwork. And I'm like,
burn
turned
your
up.
paper. Burn your papers. That's what I did. I finished my degree and I went right outside and was like, on fire. Because I don't ever need this again.
Yeah, high key. I feel like that's another thing. Like, I'm chasing music like I always have, and I'm not actually doing anything with my degree right now, which I do want to. I mean, I am teaching 8th grade, but that wasn't what I went to school for.
Okay.
I went to school for business administration, and I'm literally chasing what I've always been chasing my whole life. So, I mean, I do encourage school and education. Don't get me wrong, but I owe 30, So, like, it's just for me, it's like I really wish that maybe I had gone a different route and just focused on the music the whole time.
So you eventually stop teaching and just go strictly into music?
I love teaching, but I do it just to give back right now. It wasn't a choice like, oh, I just want to be a teacher. It was like, hey, I'm not doing anything else with my time. Why don't I give back to where I came from?
Right.
So
I can appreciate that.
yeah.
Because some people say, I'm going to do turkey drives, I'm going to do toy drives, I'm going to do this, and you're actually there with them kids every day.
Yeah.
And helping them, shape them to be young adults.
Right.
8th grade is a critical time.
It is. Like, they're really finding their structure. I noticed that because I was super nervous going into the classroom. Those kids aren't big. Like, they bigger than me. But, like, I realized they just need structure. They need to, you know what I'm saying, somebody to really have these conversations with them, keep it real, and, like, hey, like, what's really going on? What do you need? And that's what I'm able to do. I work underneath another teacher. Okay. So, like, I'm able to really, like, talk to them and just be like, hey, like, what do you need? Okay, this is how you do it, you know. So.
And it's going to stick with them for a long time.
Yeah. Like, I asked them, I was like, you know, why aren't y'all motivated to do the work? And they were just like, y'all not making it fun. Like, you know, I think music is one way to encourage kids to learn. We did like a rap song in the math class, and that got them real encouraged and excited. So, that's cool.
Do they listen to your music?
No. I told them to call me Miss L. They don't know who I am.
Oh, wow.
Nah.
They haven't, like, stumbled across you on Instagram?
They don't know my first name, my last name, my Instagram name. I didn't want them to. Like, right. I was just like, just know me as y'all teacher first. Okay. Kind of thing. Yeah.
I can appreciate that.
They gonna find out now.
They really are. I was just thinking, I'm like, they gonna see your name. They gonna know your Instagram.
I was so nervous going in. I wanted them to, like, build that respect first. Even though some of them just still won't anyway. But, yeah.
It's going to take a while for those.
Yeah.
Like, I really liked her.
Right.
It's going to take a hard teacher for them to come back.
It's been a week. I haven't been there for a week. They gonna miss me when I come. They gonna be like, Miss L when I come back. So.
Okay, so you say you've been on vacation?
I've been on vacation. I've been focusing on music.
Okay.
We've been doing a lot, like planning meetings, working on the project, pushing out those covers as well.
So let's talk about your upcoming project that you are working on.
The upcoming project we want to drop like first quarter, like kind of mid-February, around Valentine's Day. Okay. We haven't completely figured out what records are gonna go on it yet, but I know for sure like it's gonna be done by February. So.
Will you have any features?
Not this time. Okay. I think because I've been trying to like really put out a project for years, and just trying to find myself and put my soul and everything that I can into it, and it's taken me like up to this point to do it, and I really want it to be wholeheartedly just me pouring my soul into it, because I've been through a lot for the past 3 years, so I just want to be able to just make it about me, you know, and share who I am with people who've been waiting for a really long time. So. Yeah.
So once the project drop and people actually see this interview and go listen to Drinking, they definitely gonna call for features. What type of artist would you you be like, okay, yeah, I can do that. Like, it's a lot of St. Louis artists.
Yeah. If I want, so are you saying like if I wanted to work with any St. Louis artist, who would it be?
We can do a double question. If you like want to collab with artists, you want to collab with other R&B singers, you just want to collab with rappers, like is there a genre that you just want to stick to?
I want some female singers.
Okay.
For sure. I like believe in like female collaboration. That's something that I didn't have growing up in high school, like just being able to work with girls and get along. So I look for that, like Asia Major, Cole, like that's my girl. So we've been talking for a while about doing a collab and just at least working together in some way, shape, or form. So Asia's pretty dope. Like look for another female collab.
Okay. Sure. Asia Major.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look her up after this. Okay, and then the second part of the question is, what St. Louis artists wouldn't you mind collabing with? Whether it be rappers, singers, country artists. It's a lot of them.
I actually wouldn't mind collabing, and I'm thinking outside the box, a poet. Okay. Like having kind of how what's the female group where they do like the spoken word poetry and then she sings? Floetry, yeah. Like I would not mind having like a poet on one of the songs on my project, having either a male or a female, you know, doing a spoken word. There's another female artist that was up here on Thursday when I got here and brought Drinking up here. I forget her name. Fluid. I think it's Fluid. It's another female poet. Her name's Fluid. She does spoken word. Okay. So I think that would be really dope. Something people wouldn't expect, you know?
Not right now.
Right.
Not in the age of the city girls. We not.
No, I can't, no.
We don't see Fluid.
Yeah.
And so, just to finish up, what is a piece of advice you have for either the kids that are in your class that are watching or just anybody that's listening to your interview today?
A piece of advice? Focus on yourself. Focus on building your growth and your happiness and your inner peace, because if you don't have that, there's no way that, you know what I'm saying, you'll be able to fulfill anybody else in a relationship or, you know, anything. Just focus on yourself. That's major key. Like, love yourself, and just, it's nothing wrong with being selfish with your time. Like, give yourself self-love. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's super important. So, yeah.
I can feel that.
Because that's what I'm going
Focus
through.
on yourself.
Love yourself. Like, people trying to be in relationships and stuff, and you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just kind of like, if you're not ready to be in a relationship, just sit down somewhere. Love yourself.
Because you're going to mess up somebody else.
Yeah, you don't mess up somebody else.
Let me not put my business out there. You don't mess up somebody else. Like, but thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. How can they follow you?
You can follow me at Alysha now. So that's ALYSHANOW on all social platforms.
Okay. You on YouTube too?
I'm on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Shazam, Pandora, Spotify.